they're sailing because they feel like their state has failed them. Their state has failed to take any meaningful action to challenge the illegality of the blockade that Israel has inflicted, the policy of starvation that they are inflicting, which is also directly contrary to international law. We're living in a double-standarded system whereby certain states can get away with far more egregious breaches of law than others, and I find that disparity very challenging as a human and also as a practitioner of law.
There are a few functions that we hope to undertake. It includes things like analysing the legal position of what's occurring on a day-to-day basis, keeping the rest of the world informed as to the legal situation and any issues that might arise, documenting what's happening, documenting any potential breaches of international law, and just generally providing, I suppose, an evidential basis for any of those breaches that we see. In circumstances where what the flotilla is carrying is effectively medicine, aid, food, there's no legal basis upon which the ships can be intercepted by any particular state, but in particular by the State of Israel.
There is a route to take that won't actually intersect with any of the waters that Israel claims to be their own. And I suppose another important aspect of the maritime law that Gemma was explaining is that all of the customary law and all preceding maritime law instruments were codified in the UN Convention of the Law of the Seas. In there, it effectively says that there is a right to innocent passage.
You're entitled to passage through those waters, no matter what state it is that
yes, Israel has a very, very limited right to block any boat that is invoking its right of innocent passage, and that is all of our boats, and all of the boats are completely peaceful, non-violent, humanitarian boats in essence.
People are getting very caught up in the question mark of whether or not this is humanitarian work or if this is activism, political activism. At the end of the day, it's irrelevant because persons are still entitled to sail through the waters unimpeded.
Further, if it was international humanitarian law, civilians are protected persons under Article 4 of the 4th Geneva Convention.
We would categorically reject, in the strongest possible terms, any accusation of terrorism, and if there is action taken on the basis that there is alleged terrorism against the flotilla, there will be absolutely no legal basis for that whatsoever.
The misuse of the word terrorism and its absolute inversion across many Western jurisdictions, unfortunately at present, the weaponisation of law to actually prescribe people who provide dissenting voices and provide critical voices is very concerning.
If we look to the UK and the way in which they are invoking terrorism legislation against people who speak out against the genocide, that sets a very dangerous, very concerning precedent for other countries, but undoubtedly it is empowering states like the State of Israel to also use that kind of labelling. So it is very important that people are properly using terms that have a lawful basis.